Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to take the images we made on the computer and printed and put them together to make one big image like this that we can get ready to go ahead and press. Okay, so we have our big penguin printed out, my Winx penguin. Don't mind my messy area here. We're all crafters, we're all slobs. So I'm going to cut it. We want to use smooth scissors. I have scissors like this. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, that have ridges here. And if you use these, you're going to get a white line when you go to sublimate it. So you want to make sure you're using smooth, they're dirty, but smooth scissors to get a smooth cut. Now when you cut it, you're going to try to cut as close as possible to the design, even taking a small sliver off. A sliver as in like a millimeter, you know, not a chunk. And it helps if you do it against a background with a color so you can see if there's any white. You can check afterwards, or you can do it as you're cutting and you can see it immediately. So for me, I have this green seafoam thing on my desk. I can see it right away, and then I know to go back in and take a little bit more off. Don't worry if you have blank white space on your image. You're not going to see that. You can sub white. You're worried about the color. Try to get in here a little better for you guys. And then you're all good from there. If you look at the piece that you cut off and you're left with some color on it here, that's perfectly fine. And then you can look up against your color background and see if there's any white and know if you have to go back in. Then you're going to take your other side. See, I can already tell from here, I got some white in here, so I'm going to go back in. Sometimes it's a little hard to go back in, but even if you get it like sliver by sliver, it's okay. Check it. See a little white piece here. Okay. The colored background definitely helps you notice if there's any white. So that's a little trick for you. And you want to do it in a well-lit area as well. I'm using the ring light right now, but I have a light right here, and then I have a light right by my heat press. I have the Cricut, not the lamp, the pad. Alright, let's take a look. Alright, we're good. So now what I do is I rip around the edges. You don't want to cut around the edges when you sublimate, because then you're going to get press lines. You want to rip, and it's better to do it before you tape them together. Otherwise, you're just going to be taping white space, and you're going to wind up ripping it off. So you're just wasting tape and time and resources. you're gonna try to match stuff up, and it's just easier to do it beforehand. So when you rip, you want to, you know, obviously do it as close as possible without doing image. Got a little close there. There we go. Now when you tape, it can take some time. I mean, sometimes lining it up takes me a little bit. You want to get it right. So there's no shame in, you know, it taking a while. Oh gosh, again, got close there. Okay. Get rid of this garbage. So, using the Cricut heat tape, I take one side, I take 2 pieces of tape, and I put half of the tape on one side like that, and I take the other piece and put half of it on the other side like that. Now sometimes I go in the middle, sometimes I don't. It really depends on how many pieces I'm working with. Since I'm only working with 2, I'm just going to do the sides. And then I'm just going to try to line them up. And see if I can zoom in here. Get a better view. Well, I'll show you after. So what I'm going to try to do now is slightly overlap the pieces and line them up. So you may want to just work with one side first and then work with the other. And you're going to kind of be going back and forth a little bit. So like I said, it can take some time to get it right. And what's good about the tape is it's not super sticky, so you can lift up and down a bunch of times. And you're trying to make sure that you don't have any clear spots. And I'll show you after how to make sure that you're overlapped and that there's no gaps. So again, you're trying to make sure everything's aligned right. Because it's not even just about making sure that everything's overlapped. You want to make sure everything lines up. Because you could have no gaps, but if something's not lined up right, it's going to look weird. When you have an image like this, that's a little on the bigger side, it's hard to make sure that all the pieces are in play. So, this almost looks good except for the eyes. If you hear someone talking right now, it's my fiance. He's working right now, so I apologize. He has to listen to me all day. Alright, almost down the side. Alright, so you can just feel it, and you can feel the overlap. Now, to make sure that it's overlapped, what you do is you hold it up to the light. And if you see light through it, then you know it's not lined right. Now, it really helps when you put the tape against it, tape on it, then you can really see if there's a gap or not. So, I can feel that this is overlapped. I'm gonna put some tape on it.
Just the one. The other one's already provisioned. No, what? This is the second one.
Now, like I
I'm
said,
giving away a bunch of
if you hold it up to the light, let me just bring my phone over so you can see. You can see if there's any gaps. And
Nope.
right here,
It's what IDA generated.
no gaps. Look what we got there. We got some gaps. No gaps. Gaps. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix this, and then I'll get back on with you. All right, so I had to move it around a little bit, but we're gonna look again, and we have no gaps. So we know that it's overlapped. We know that it's overlapped, and we have no gaps.
I don't see that.
You can feel it.
CHP account and Trio.
So that's how you put the image together. And now we're ready to press it.